Hello and welcome to the Reliant Motor Club crash test videos. My name is Harvey Payne, and over the next 30 minutes we'll be looking at a number of videos that until now have been hidden away for over 50 years. Both my dad Elvis Payne and fellow Reliant enthusiast Mark Cropper set up the Reliant Motor Club in 2016 along with Reliant's former Deputy Managing Director Barry Wills, who is the President of the club. One of the key values of the club has always been to capture and share as much Reliant history as possible. It was because of this the club was also closely associated with the remaining subsidiary of Reliant Parts World. In 2019, my dad received a message from Reliant Parts World informing him that they were clearing out their old storage container that housed much of their archives. Dad was invited down to have a look and take what he wanted. Needlessly to say, my dad tried to save as much as possible, and amongst the items he saved were reels of old 16mm film. There were 10 reels in total, and while some have names on them, like Bombug or Reliant Scimitar, others were more mysterious, simply stating K39 Reliant or K41 Reliant. At the time, he had no idea what was on them, although one gave a possible clue with the word MIRA. Some of the reels are dated, suggesting that all this footage was shot between 1970 and 1974. The reels were luckily all in plastic or metal canisters, and whilst having some protection, were stored in a damp shipping container for a number of years, which along with age has had an effect on them. The Reliant Motor Club had all this footage converted into a digital form and the footage cleaned and restored as best as possible. This then revealed that these reels all contained various crash test footage from the MIRA crash at the centre in Warwickshire. For most of the films, there appears to be a camera positioned on each side of the vehicle to capture the crash test and a camera below. The cameras used were extremely high speed for the time, as whilst the actual crash test would have been over in a couple of seconds. The film is running at around 25 frames a second and is slowed down considerably. We did contemplate speeding up the footage in this video, although given that YouTube has an option to change the playback speed, we thought we would retain the original speed intended. None of the films had any sound. In this film, we will be looking at the following vehicles: Bombug, Reliant Kitten, Reliant Rebel Estate, Reliant Rebel Van, Reliant Kitten Van, Reliant Scimitar GTE and Reliant 5 cubic weight Supervan. Whilst the video quality is not great, we also have footage of crash tests that concentrates on the movements of the seats. These are for Reliant Kitten, Reliant Robin and Reliant Scimitar GTE. One thing that is apparent in these videos are the benefits of a fiberglass body, or glass reinforced plastic if you prefer. While some of the crashes look horrific, the fiberglass absorbs much of the impact and the shapes of the chassis helps to form a barrier to protect the actual footwell of the vehicle. So without further ado, let's take a closer look. Our first film is of the Bombug, although sadly a section of this film has been cut off, so the footage misses the actual impact from the passenger side. What is just as fascinating as the actual impact is when the windscreen hits the floor and then in slow motion just explodes into hundreds of fragments. Cameras close up also show the impact inside the cabin space. This is the crash scene from underneath the vehicle. Next up, we had the Reliant Kitten. Although unlike most other videos, this shows the Kitten stationary and then being shunted at high speed. What happened to the passenger head here just doesn't bear thinking about. Next, we have the Rebel Estate, and like the Bombug video, this shows a crash test from both sides and below. And then there is a Rebel van. It is interesting to see how the Kitten van then fares compared to the Rebel van. For the Reliant Scimitar GTE, we sadly again seem to be missing a chunk of film that shows the crash from the driver's side, although I guess we are lucky that we have the footage that we do. Next on the crash test is the Reliant 5 cubic weight Supervan, or the Reliant Regal Supervan as some people call it. With this crash test, the Supervan literally becomes airborne. Our next set of films appears to concentrate on the seats during a crash test to determine how secure they are and how much they move. Sadly, the film quality here is not as good, and at some angles, the light from the windows at MIRA appears to flood the camera. Let's start off with the Reliant Kitten. These tests were done with the car going forwards and backwards. again for the Reliant Robin. And as we approach the end, our final clip is a Reliant Scimitar GTE. So there we have it, Reliant crash test footage from 1970 to 1974 being possibly viewed for the first time in over 50 years. We hope you have enjoyed these videos and thank you for watching. More information on both Reliant and Reliant Motor Club can be found on our website at www.reliant.website. You can see more of my videos at www.harveyp.uk. Thank you for watching the Reliant Motor Club crash test videos. Goodbye.